Hello Carmel members, welcome back to Carmel Golf Academy TV. I'm your Director of Instruction, Jason Sutton. On today's show, we're going to talk about something a little bit different. We've done a lot of tips on what the club should do and what the body should do. Now we're going to focus on the feet. Proper footwork is really a huge deal when we're talking about, swinging the club on plane, hitting the ball solid. In teaching circles nowadays, a big topic of discussion is where should the weight be during the golf swing, and then how should the pressure change and how quickly should it change during the golf swing. And really the two, weight versus pressure, if we get a little like sort of a definition of it, weight would be as I'm just standing, how much I'm pushing into the ground. Pressure is when the weight starts to move. So if it's moving to the right or moving to the left, that's when the pressure starts to shift. Now, a lot of times if you've taken lessons, you may have heard the instructor talk about weight transfer, but really we want to focus more on where's the pressure moving in the feet in order to use the ground, hit the ball farther, and really use the ground as leverage. And we've seen it on the Golf Channel and in some of the telecasts lately in tournaments where they're focusing on what the feet are doing. And what I'm going to discuss today is proper footwork and what we're seeing in what we say poor golf swings versus what the good players are doing. So let's start with just looking at how we're going to position our feet, right? So I don't see too many players that set up with their toes inward. I think that's going to be a really difficult way to start to move our feet properly. So what we like to see is actually a bit of foot flare, where we have about 10 and 15 degrees of the toes pointing outward, which is called maybe a duck stance would be a good way to start. So as you go to the top of your backswing, regardless if you're moving what we would say sort of off the ball or what we prescribe is more of a centered pivot where the head doesn't move a whole lot, the pressure in the backswing is going to move towards your back heel. So as I'm moving into my right side, the pressure is going to sort of go up my right side and into my back heel. What we see a lot of players that tend to come over the top or swing out the end is they'll actually go outside their right foot and more into the outside of their right shoe and even more towards their toe. So you'll see a lot of this right leg starting to flex and start to see some issues start right there, which is going to make it very difficult for them to move the pressure forward. So really what we want to see the back leg do is actually straighten a little bit. The right hip actually goes up and behind you, and that's going to move that pressure towards the right heel. About maybe 60% or so would be a good number to put on that. And then more importantly, the difference in good players and poor players is really the transition. So as we start to move towards the target, what I see a lot of you out there doing is going towards the right toe, kind of jumping off of that right side, which does a lot of things. It moves that right leg in towards the ball, it moves your hips in towards the ball, and then it really doesn't leave any room for your arms to come down to impact. So it could cause you to go outside, but it also could cause you to get trapped. So we see this look a lot. So you kind of go right heel to right toe. So what we want to see happen is more of a kind of a linear trace to where we're moving from the right heel to the left heel. So it's this way. And that's where that lateral slide that we teach a lot of you out there to move the weight or the pressure forward is so crucial to making that club swing from the inside. So it looks something like this. So you can see how my knees are not going this way, they're moving towards the target, right? So we go pivot into the right heel, pressure goes into the left heel, and then basically moves up, and you'll see a lot of players that are moving that left foot around. Really, it doesn't matter a whole lot. Once that ball's gone, all they're doing is just supporting the weight on the way through. And that's why we like to see that left foot flared out a little bit, just so you can stay in balance a little bit easier. All right, so how do we work on that? For you people out there that are jumping off of that right foot, probably the best drill is a simple little punch shot drill, but I like to do it standing on a dowel rod, because what this does is it really gives me that sense of weight in the middle of my feet and then into my right heel. Because If I go out on my right toe, I'm going to lose my balance. So you can see how this little bit of help is going to really give me that sense of balance throughout the swing. You can get really courageous and get up on a foam roller or something like that, but I would suggest starting with a dowel rod. And then secondly is I want you to hit some shots where the right heel stays down longer and basically is pulled off by the momentum of the swing. So the right foot will look more like it's rolling, or what we call banking into the forward side as we go through. So let me hit one for you. So you can see, nice strike. The right heel is barely off the ground at the finish, and build up from there into your full swing. And I can assure you your balance is going to improve, but you're going to start to use the ground properly and get some more power. Hope this tip helped you. Come see us at the Golf Academy. We'll see you next time.